Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another video, and today we're going to be doing a video on the top 40 presidents that they should add to the Simpsons Tapped Out. Now, I know 4th of July isn't quite here. I'm releasing this a little early, mainly because I'm probably going to be busy on the 4th of July, and also on the 3rd of July I'm going to be swamped with, doing my premium gameplay for, I think, Les Moore. So yeah, I figured why not. Plus, I need to release another Walking Dead video, so figured why not do it today, a little early for the 4th of July, but that way everyone gets to watch it when the 4th of July happens. This is my little 4th of July celebration. So obviously, Tapped Out used to add a lot of presidents to the game, and they used to do it one a year. So obviously, the first one we got was, I think, was it Lincoln? I think it was Lincoln first. Then it was Washington. Then I think it was Nixon. Then it was Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt. Then it was Dwight D. Eisenhower. Then it was Reagan. And somewhere along the way, President Lisa was added as well. So these are the current presidents that we have in the game. So I'm counting, real-life presidents that have been confirmed to have existed in this show's universe, and also any fictional presidents that exist in the universe. Obviously, one of which is President Lisa. So yeah, these are the presidents we've got so far. Not many. I really do wish they returned to adding one every year. And we've got 45 of them? Obviously, I think, is it Grover Cleveland who had 2 terms? So, 2 non-consecutive terms, so he's counted as 2 different presidents. But, yeah, so there's a lot of presidents to add, and you may be saying, well, what if they appeared in the show? And you're correct. Some of them don't really appear in the show. They only appear in the form of a picture. But even that, I think, is enough to add the president. I think you can chuck them in anyway. Make them a sort of Tapped Out exclusive. That's fine. I'd be cool with that. So, yeah, I do really think that you need to add more presidents. For me, personally, I just think it would be so awesome if they could return to adding one a year. So, here are the ones we have, obviously, so far. So, let's look at the top 40. And when I say top 40, I basically mean every other president that they could possibly add. That's why I've done top 40. So let's get into it. So number 40 is John Quincy Adams. Alright, so John Quincy Adams, wait, no, not second. He's the 4th or 5th president? I'm not sure. One of them anyway. Now, he doesn't appear in the show. He obviously appears in the form of a portrait. You can see him here, but regardless, I think you can add them. Now, all the picture ones, I will say, are all in no particular order. They're pretty much just in chronological order of when they were president. I think I may have switched one around, but yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, John Quincy Adams, number 40. Number 39, James Monroe. Okay, again, another picture, but still, they could add him. Number 38, Marvin Van Buren, alright? Buren. Mutton chops, great mutton chops, okay? I think this one for me, personal favourite, mutton chops are cool, alright? So he's got to be added. Number 37, William Henry Harrison. This guy died pretty quickly, I think, in office, so that's pretty cool. You can make some jokes about that. I think he died 3 months in office or something like that. So yeah, make some jokes about that. John Tyler, yeah, cool. Again, another picture. Bit disappointing, but regardless, you could chuck him in anyway. James Polk, alright? Again, another picture, but you can still, again, like I said, add him in anyway. Zachary Taylor, alright? We're still on the pictures. We're still on these really blurry, awful pictures, but don't worry, it's going to get better soon. But number 34, Zachary Taylor, let's throw him in the game. Number 33, Franklin Pierce. This one's a bit more of a clear picture, alright? He looks cool. Looks like he's got a cool little haircut there. Chuck him in the game. Why not? James Buchanan. Alright, this is Lincoln's number 1 enemy. Alright, we can chuck him in there. I say Lincoln's number 1 enemy. You know what I mean? You could maybe have some funny rivalry with him and Lincoln. That could be kind of cool. So, yeah, why not? Rutherford Hayes. He's got a cool beard. Chuck him in there. James Garfield. Pretty awesome. Mustache there. Chuck him in the game. Grover Cleveland. Again, another awesome mustache. We gotta have him in the game too. Again, yes, he's a picture, but we can chuck him in anyway, regardless. We can do it. Benjamin Harrison, yeah, we'll have him too. He's the blurriest of all the images, but you know what? We can chuck him in the game, right? Let's have him. William McKinley, this guy was assassinated, so that's pretty cool. We could do some jokes about that. I think Garfield was as well. Did we go do Garfield? Yeah, Garfield was assassinated too. We could do some funny jokes about that too. There we go. Haha. Herbert Hoover, number 26. We're getting to more recent presidents now. Again, could definitely do some cool stuff with him. Alright, now we're getting to some clearer pictures. We're still on pictures, but some clearer pictures. Calvin Coolidge. So we're going back a bit, but I think Calvin Coolidge could be a cool president because he's got Coolidge. Calvin Coolidge, cool president to add. Alright. Number 24 is George W. Bush, okay? Now, this is the most recent president who hasn't made, like, a physical appearance in either The Simpsons or one of their, like, mini animated clip things. Yeah, it's really weird. He only appears in a picture that Homer shows someone of him beating up George W. Bush. So, yeah, he could be added in the game. There could be a cool little animation with him beating up Homer, or Homer beating up him. That could be kind of cool. So, yeah, George W. Bush, number 24. So, we're still on pictures, I apologise. Number 23, William Howard Taft, alright? Again, yes, he only appears in the form of an image, but regardless, they could still add him, alright? I am adamant that they add all of them. Woodrow Wilson, number 22, he's got some awesome glasses on there, and he's about to have a mustache drawn on him, so why not? Number 21, Warren G. Harding, again, another one. Oh, there's a picture, but we could still get him regardless, alright? Add him in the game. Now we're getting into animated pictures. So this is Andrew Jackson. So obviously Andrew Jackson appears on the dollar bill and he's kind of like talking to someone. I forget, is it Lincoln I think he's like talking to? Basically he's talking to someone, but the actual picture of him on the dollar bill kind of or the $2 bill kind of it you know moves. It's animated. So he's like in between live action and picture. So that's why he's number 20. And that's literally the order so far. It's not order in terms of like what presidents I like. It's order in terms of how sort of animated they were on the show. And I eventually they get into like my actual personal things my personal ones that I wanted to add. But Andrew Jackson is number 20. I think he's got a cool little animation, so why not? 19 is Chester A. Arthur. So he only appears in the Vice President Hall of Fame, whatever it is, the Vice President Hall of Fame, or the Hall of Vice Presidents, whatever you call it. And he's kind of in the background there, so that's why I chose to put him as number 19 instead of number any higher, because he's kind of in the he's in the background. Millard Fillmore, again, he's kind of in the background, so I've got to give him number 18. But he does move. He is animatronic and all that, so why not? Lyndon B. Johnson, number 17. He's quite clear, and do you know what? Lyndon B. Johnson, he's got a cool looking face, so I want him in the game for that reason and that reason alone. And then number 16 is Ulysses S. Grant. I definitely want this appearance. He obviously appears in the Wall of the Alcoholics, or Famous Alcoholics, or whatever it was. But do you know what? Adam is an actual character. I think that could be really cool to see. I'd like to see him as a character. And apparently he was a big alcoholic, so we could have some funny Mo antics with that one. Number 15, Andrew Johnson. So really, I know I've done top 40, but I just wanted to showcase all the presidents that they could add. It was kind of partially every president they could add, and also top 40. I wanted to make it like a rounded number. But do you know what? These next 15 are the ones I think I want the most. Andrew Johnson, I definitely want because, he's Lincoln's right-hand man. We got to have some fun Lincoln antics with him and Andrew Johnson. They gotta have some fun antics. So why not add in Andrew Johnson, number 15. Number 14 is Joe Biden. So now we're getting into the living presidents, and obviously them adding the living presidents is probably not going to happen anytime soon, just because they tend not to add any living people without their consent. So Joe Biden's number 14 because honestly, out of all the presidents that have appeared in The Simpsons, I think Joe Biden, his appearance is the least interesting. And no offense to Joe Biden, I think there's not many jokes you can really do with Joe Biden. There's not much comedy you can kind of bounce off in terms of his personality. So yeah, I don't know. For me, Joe Biden's number 14, just because A, he doesn't really have a big appearance in The Simpsons, and C, and A, and B, comedy-wise, I don't know how much you can bounce off him. Number 13 is Bill Clinton. There is a lot of comedy you could do with Bill Clinton. Obviously, his cheating, his the stuff on the dress. There's lots you could do with Bill Clinton. I'm reminded a lot of his Family Guy appearance. I don't know why, but yeah, he's definitely one you could add. But obviously, he is still alive, so there's that. His alive factor. So it's probably unlikely that he would be added. Number 12 is Barack Obama. I think there's a lot of comedy beats you could bounce off him. His different hobbies and stuff. I just would prefer to have him. I guess maybe because he's one of the more recent presidents. I think I would prefer to have him more so than Bill Clinton and Joe Biden. I mean, Joe Biden's like the most recent, but Joe Biden, it's kind of boring. Anyway, number 11 is Donald Trump. So Donald Trump, obviously controversial president. But I think there's a lot of comedy you could do from him. You could definitely do some interesting things with like Mr. Burns and or anyone else, or like Mayor Quimby, maybe like him bribing Mayor Quimby or something like that. I just think there's a lot of potential for Donald Trump, if they were to add him into the game. So that's why I've kind of put him a bit higher than some of the others. I think questline-wise, animation-wise, there's a lot of potential. Whereas like Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Joe Biden, like obviously you've got to keep things PG, so you can't really have anything too crazy with Bill Clinton. Joe Biden, maybe you could have one of him eating some ice cream or something. And then Barack Obama, I don't know, like animation-wise, I'm trying to think. Like none of them, I don't think any scream out interesting animations. Whereas Donald Trump, I think, could have like lots of interesting ones, especially with his hair, because obviously in those little shorts they animate, his hair goes a bit wild and it's like it has a life of its own. So yeah. Number 10 is actually Jimmy Carter. So in terms of the living, there's one more living president that I think is better. But in terms of living presidents here, so far anyway, I think Jimmy Carter is better than all the rest of these. Mainly because we see Jimmy Carter with his, building his houses for people. And so that construction area that he works at is a great building for him to come with. But also, I think there's a lot you could do with that, bounce off it. Obviously, Jimmy Carter is well known more for his activities after being president than he is for his, his office, his term in office. So, I think that you could definitely do some really cool stuff with Jimmy Carter and bounce off that whole, building house things. And, you could have some interesting animations. The show always tends to, like, present, or most media actually tends to present Jimmy Carter as kind of a dork. So you can play off that as well. I think there's a lot more potential for Jimmy Carter than any of these others. So that's why number 10 is Jimmy Carter, best president out of everyone. All right, best president. Jimmy Carter's the best president. Anyway, number 9, out of all the living presidents that I think I want the most, and you might be saying, hang on a minute, Arnold Schwarzenegger never became president. Yes, you're right. In real life, Arnold Schwarzenegger was, a governor of California, I think. He never became president. But in the Simpsons movie, he is the president. So for that reason, I think I'm counting Arnold Schwarzenegger like I counted President Lisa as a president, and that's why number 9 is Arnold Schwarzenegger. I definitely want to see him in the game, because A, it switches with, it ties in with the movie, which is really cool, and B, he's kind of a Rainier Wolfcastle doppelganger, even though Rainier Wolfcastle is really a doppelganger of Arnold, so it's kind of like, oh God, what would you call that? It's like 3 degrees, But regardless, I would like to see him in the game anyway. Yes, he would look similar to Rainier, doesn't matter. You could definitely have some cool little animations with him, and obviously, questline-wise, you can do a lot with him, and obviously he's a big presence in the movie. Now, obviously, all the latest presidents I've just looked at here are all currently living. Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Jimmy Carter, and Arnold Schwarzenegger are all currently living people, so the likelihood that we will get them as president is probably quite low. But regardless, we're just having fun here. I can put them on my list. So these next ones are non-living presidents, apart from one. Actually, no, I'm wrong. These next couple presidents are all dead presidents. The next 8. So these are the top 8 really that I definitely think can be added, like should be added, because these 8 there should be, apart from maybe one of them, there should be no problems with adding to the game. So number 8 is John Adams. John Adams, obviously second president of the United States. Definitely not a massive like, in terms of presence in the show, it doesn't really have a massive presence or anything. There's a few different appearances. One where Quimby's kind of like looks like him. So I personally would want this version instead of the Quimby version for me. Just so that all the presidents have like a unique look. They're not. I don't want any doppelganger presidents. But yeah, John Adams, just not as interesting. But at least he has an appearance, and he's also long dead. So there's plenty of potential to add him. So that's why I'm putting him as number 8. Number 7 is Harry Truman. Something about Harry Truman, I don't know. I like the look of him. Obviously, president when the Hiroshima and Nagasaki was happening, so maybe you can play off that. I don't think he actually did. I think maybe it was like his war secretary who actually like did it though. But regardless, he was president during that when that happened. So you could do something there. Obviously, World War II president as well, so you could do something with that. Yeah, I think there's just a lot of potential for Harry Truman. So let me know. I think Harry Truman is the true man. Number 6 is James Madison. He kind of appears in like a vision. So yeah, there's plenty of, he actually has a proper appearance and he has lines and stuff. I can think of some cool animations as well. There's potential. So yeah, number 6, James Madison. Number 5 is FDR, obviously Franklin D. Roosevelt. Franklin D. Roosevelt, I probably would go, obviously he only appears in this form, in his wheelchair form. I think that's fine though. I think you could definitely have him just wheeling himself around the town. Yeah, mainly because he actually has a physical appearance. And I think he's for me anyway, he's a pretty noticeable president, so definitely would be awesome to get him. Number 4 is Thomas Jefferson. So these 4 are the ones that I think are a travesty that have not been added yet. So number 4 is Thomas Jefferson. Now Thomas Jefferson, obviously he appears in the halls of vice presidents, but he also appears as the statue as well. And the statue obviously talks to Lisa and communicates with her and talks to her. So I think a good combination would be add this version of Thomas Jefferson, which is seen in the vice presidents, the hall of vice presidents, but also include it with the the Jefferson Memorial. Include it with the Jefferson Memorial, or whatever it's called, the Jefferson statue, and have this be like a Tata exclusive, and sort of not Tata exclusive, but like the actual archway that goes, or the dome that goes around the statue. They'd obviously have to create that, but then the statue on full view as well. Yeah, I think is a good combo. Like this is a great combo. So yeah, Thomas Jefferson for me is number 4. Obviously, he's the 3rd president too, so that's pretty important. Number 3, Gerald Ford. Okay, Gerald Ford is number 3. Now, Gerald Ford obviously moves in after George Bush moves out to the house just down the road from the Simpsons. So he was neighbors to Homer, and we can see that he's friends with Homer. I don't know. Something about Gerald Ford. Maybe it's because he made that appearance, and also he's been dead for quite a while. I think Gerald Ford for me has big potential. I think there's definitely lots you can do, especially with that relationship with Homer. You can build on that. We can maybe get some more context to that. Thinking about it, I might actually want to swap these 2 around. I think I'd probably swap Thomas Jefferson for number 3, to be honest, and put Gerald Ford as number 4. But still, Gerald Ford is definitely one I would like to see. Then number 2, JFK. JFK for me is a definite number 2 because I think he's one of the most recognizable presidents in terms of not just from Americans, but I think internationally as well. I think a lot of people remember JFK mainly because of the fact he was assassinated, but regardless, he's a recognizable president, and I definitely think there's a lot of potential, especially with him and Grandpa. Obviously, there was that flashback where Grandpa accused him of being I think either a communist or a Nazi, one of the two, and beat him up. And then we also have there's a little scene where we see like his debate with Nixon, I think, yeah. So they could definitely play on that as well. And they can do a lot with Nixon. They can have like a little rivalry between the two men. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of potential for JFK. So I definitely would like to see him in the game, for sure. And then number 1 is George H.W. Bush. Obviously, he's going to be number 1. I don't think anyone doubted who the number 1 spot was going to go to. So, George H.W. Bush obviously has the most notable appearance of any of the presidents in The Simpsons, because he obviously plays a pivotal role in one of the episodes, apart from maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger, just because he kind of does play a large role in the film. But George H.W. Bush obviously plays such a big role in the episode with Homer, obviously, where he moves in and they have their little rivalry, they have their fight, they have their bickering, and there is so much potential in terms of in terms of animations, quest line, and even the whole event. They could base the whole event around this. Now, the only issue is they've already obviously added the presidential estates into the game, which is very disappointing that they decided to add that without George H.W. Bush. And obviously at the time when that was added, and for a long time when Tapped Out was active, obviously George H.W. Bush, the actual person, was living. But recently, well, I say recently, he died 3 years ago now, 3 years ago. He died a fair, not a while ago, but he died fairly recently. But I'm just hoping with time we can eventually get him in the game. I know be fairly respectful, and they can even do a little tribute to him if they want to as well. I'd be fine with that. I think most people would be fine with that. Doing a little tribute to him as well, being thank you for taking your likeness. And chuck him in the game. Why not? I'm sure. I think Reagan's kids were living right when Reagan was added, so I don't think their kids would have any objections. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on my top 40 presidents that they should add to The Simpsons Tapped Out. Is there any presidents I missed? I don't think I missed any, but let me know if I did. Maybe I did. I think it's right? We got 40 here, minus 1, so 39, because one of them's Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then you got 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Are we on 45 or 46? Oh no, because one of them takes 2. Yeah, Grover Cleveland takes 2. Yeah, that's right. I think I included every president. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.